dash gallery, and sold 5 of the pieces for, hundreds of gold. Ashkar then got hired on for what would be after that a pittance, only about 25 gold, to provide food on the first of Eiselprey for a gala that starts at 7:30 and that he's been asked to be there by 6. You guys encountered a booth that was selling small magical items, mostly rings. Greg ended up buying a jump ring. And did a reading for the proprietor. Something also happened with Greg the next day that he might not want to get around to the rest of the party.
They don't need to know.
Yeah. Shio was also acting pretty shifty. On the 28th of Treskellen, the party sold a bunch of potions, made a lot of money, and then immediately started spending it on various magical items. And you guys decided to rest, relax, get used to your new items, and get comfortable until the 1st of Eiselprey. Which has now come upon us. I imagine that you're just wanting to skip right over to the gala.
Yeah.
Yeah, I as a player have nothing going on other than trying to hunt down a magical item that my character doesn't have the education to list.
I might do something, but it's probably something we should discuss out of character, so it's fine.
Alright. Yeah. So this particular gallery is actually over in the trade ward. One of the guild people.
No, you went quiet.
Testing. Testing.
Now it's better.
Testing. Okay, so the gallery itself is over in the trade ward. One of the guild people over at the Dance of Blades had actually gotten it wrong when they were talking about how the gallery was in the Tight Tep district. They thought this because it was a, rather nice gallery from what they were reading, and the gala is supposed to be admitting some rather influential guests, and so they just assumed it was going to be in the hoity-toity section, but it's actually in the trade ward. Larceny, Zirian, are either or both of you assisting with the Dance of Blades on this, or are you just coming along to help Ashkar, or are you just attending this gala with some nice clothes?
I'm not in the Dance of Blades.
All right, I wasn't sure which. I know that at least one person said, that they were trying to join Dance of Blades, and I couldn't remember who off the top of my head. All right, so none of you are helping out Dance of Blades. Got it.
I remember one person had the job, but it might be the one that's not here.
Yeah, someone
did.
And it could have also been Ash who left.
Yeah, someone specifically went to the Dance of Blades and say, "Hey, can I get paid for this?"
Yeah. So Ashkar, are any of these people assisting you, or are the other 3 all coming as guests?
Honestly, that is up to them. I had Ashkar specifically said, "Hey, I have this thing. If you want to join me, you can. They have potential to work as entertainers and the like for y'all." But he's still new enough to the group. He doesn't know their skills or anything, so he left it very open-ended.
And as I said, they're not really they wouldn't be paying very much at all. It's like, you compared to what you guys just made, they're paying up to almost practically nothing. It's like, it'd be pocket change at this point. So
yeah,
I feel like Zirian would just mostly just want to attend in case something interesting happens.
Yeah, there for networking.
I'm gonna attend this. I'm just gonna be a guest, and I'm just gonna try and cozy up to some people who have jewelry and stuff. So I want to find out where they get that.
Oh yeah, I'll also be next to people with the jewelry.
I'm not gonna steal anything. Please don't bring me to trouble. But you're welcome.
If anyone asks, I don't know you.
Good. I have a pretty good alibi. There would be slime all over your stuff if I took it.
So, as a result, Ashkar, you end up going to the gala early because you have to set up. Bringing your various foods, a lot of it from your homeland, from down in. God damn it! Why can I never pronounce it offhand?
I know you said my race was the Zing, but I can't recall
Yeah,
the name of
yeah.
the
Your
country.
race is the Zing. The official language is Zimb, Xinb, and the country's name is Zuntarith.
Cool. And my race, is it spelled with the X or the Z?
Oh, it's yeah, hold on. Yeah. The patriarchy of the Zing. I thought I shared the page to it for you.
I don't recall getting it,
All right, I'll send you another copy.
but Warlandville hates me.
World End hates you.
You remember I had to make my character twice back when I was when I had Pashto?
Yeah. There you go. In case that helps.
Thanks. I just want to make sure because I noticed a theme kept using the X instead of Z, which I actually really like.
Yeah. Yeah, because for me that they're always Z related. Now, one of the reasons why you were picked up for this cause, and you've learned, is that the ambassador from your former country, because you, if I recall right, you've become a citizen here in Kalari.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So the ambassador from Zuntarith, Havadin Stilbeck, is one of the guests tonight for this gala.
Is this someone that is high up enough to where I wouldn't recognize them?
Probably.
Okay.
Like,
Thank you.
it's like not somebody that you've met, but somebody who probably, if you saw him out and about, you probably would have a good idea that that's probably the ambassador.
Yeah. He's well known enough that I could tie a name to a face.
Right.
Cool. And what was his name one more time?
Havadin Stilbeck.
Thank you.
I am terrible with names.
As a player, I am as well, which makes it very difficult. It also surprise me with the shit that I can remember.
Anyway. So, yeah, so you arrive. Olive is quite happy to see you, and she's like beaming widely, clutching her hands together, saying, good, I was much hoping you would be here. And she kind of like pulls out her gold purse and offers over the 25 gold as she directs several of the basically the wait staff of the party to help you with the unloading.
Hmm.
This is most excellent. I'm really hoping to that this gala will be a success.
My pleasure. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yes, you're one of several chefs here. Hopefully, I'll be able to get along. With the various races and cultures in attendance, it is good to have a wide variety. After all.
Agreed. The way I see it, food's the best way to mix.
Yes, it is. Do you have a sampling I can try of your best meat dish?
Not yet. I wanted to make sure it was nice and fresh for you, but I'll whip up a small batch as quick as I can.
All right. Well, I'll leave you to it. The gala should be opening its doors in just over an hour, so hopefully everything will be to order by then. And she heads off. Is there anything you would like to do for that hour, or are you just going to be in your element here.
Yeah, I'll just be in my element prepping. Maybe roll to see if I can make an above average dish.
All right, sure. Give me a let's see what kind of skill check. Give me a survival check.
Can I use my cooking utensils?
Yes. So that would be wisdom with your cooking utensils.
You did say that I could use charisma just because I use it as my magic.
All right, then.
Is it still
charisma.
okay?
Yeah, that's still fine. Sorry.
You're good. We had a conversation as I was making the character.
Yeah, it's just that I constantly forget about the friggin', the friggin' cooks utensils. But yeah. So your food is quite delicious.
Woo! I'm quite proud of this batch.
Pretty fine cuisine, better but as soul nourishing as home cooking. So that's very good. Meanwhile, Zirin, Larceny, and Grek, are the three of you going to enter together, or do you plan on entering separately?
I mean, Zirin's not planning on going with anyone in particular. He's just going. If they follow, they follow.
I'm going separately, and I'm gonna have a magical butler with me, so he can give the food to me, so I don't poison the whole plate.
That's good.
Unless there's an anti-magic field, in which case...
Unseen servant?
Yeah, unseen servant, yeah.
Alright.
What else?
And what about you, Larceny?
I am going to be going in by myself as to not disturb anyone else.
Alright. So tell me about when the gala starts at 7:30. That's when guests are starting to be let in. When do you see yourselves arriving?
Zirin pretty much right away.
So you're right there when the doors open.
I'm gonna be in the middle of when should be arriving, between that hour.
Alright.
That makes sense?
So anywhere before 8?
Yeah. I don't want to be late, but I just don't want to be early.
And what about you, Larceny?
I'll come in an hour after it opens.
8:30. Got it. So we'll start off with Zirin. You walk in, and you were here before with Ashkar selling the goods, and you can see that the space is even more opulent than it was before. There are still, paintings on the wall and various statuary. Although the paintings, there's a little bit of rope in front of them. Although it's kind of fancy rope. It's kind of got bits of gold trim around it. Mostly to keep people from getting too close to it, to the paintings themselves. But the space is actually quite nicely decorated. There are various flowers. There are various colors. You see some nice purple flowers. You see some nice red flowers here and there. And some various gold trimmed streamers. But all tasteful and artistic. Nothing that looks, trashy, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear a bit of music. Nothing too complicated. More like, someone playing with a harp and someone else playing on another stringed instrument. Yeah. Basically,
ambient music you can talk over.
Yeah, and in two different corners of the area, but are playing in such a way that they're not conflicting with each other, if you know what I mean. Two different instruments, different locations, but not conflicting. So it actually sounds pretty nice. They've rehearsed it like this before.
I think he's
Go ahead.
going to roam a bit, just listening for anything of interest.
All right. You do see Ashkar at one of the tables towards what we consider the back of the gallery. There's several other chefs back there with various offerings. There's even some circulating waiters that have been informed by each of the chefs as to what they are serving exactly. Though most of the waiters are coming around with champagne flutes and the like. Well, not exactly champagne, but some sort of nice wine in the small glasses, and step by and offer you one.
Yeah, he'll take one.
So, how are you dressed? Because I know how you normally dress, but how are you dressed now to this nice party that would have? Yeah.
He's probably cleaned up his more regal clothes that he's had, and
All right.
he's still got the cape, he's still got the mask on with the crown because he can technically take that off. But he's basically just more brought out his more noble clothes from when he was up there that he doesn't necessarily wear day to day. Still got the red cape that kind of drapes behind him because that's just his thing. Kind of getting back into the whole old noble act.
Coming up close to you is a woman who I believe you actually had dealings with once before. Viola Chance, whose garden I believe several of you worked at for a day.
You think so?
Ashgar didn't, but they
I just
Zirian
remember.
and
I just remember a certain owl got kicked out of there after he tried to break into the house.
Yeah, I remember Zirian pulling weeds.
Yeah.
unfortunately all the others have left.
Yeah, I would have pointed everything, so I wouldn't have gone.
Yeah. So, this woman, this nicely well-braided, hair nicely brushed, and a interesting scent just kind of wafting off her, some sort of nice and hard-to-place perfume, steps up towards you. It's like, wow, you clean up nice.
Well, being a noble, he still remembered the things.
Not that long ago, you were pulling weeds in my garden, were you not?
Gotta make some money. It's very expensive, apparently, to move here.
Ah, that it is. I'm going to take a wild guess and assume that perhaps you were doing so while waiting for your fortune to arrive, and now it has. She's taking in your more noble garb and the fact that you don't look like you just came out of a garden.
That would be a fairly accurate statement.
She kind of pulls up a small thing of wine from off a passing tray and starts sipping. So, what brings you to the gallery?
Yeah, I figured take some art in, hear what people need, and what local higher-up people are talking about. See where that goes.
That is a reasonable thing.
I find the nobles and rich folk tend to have a lot of good talk. What about you?
Oh, well, I do enjoy giving back to the arts. And I think I've bought several paintings from this gallery. One of the owners happens to be quite artistic. And I think the other also does the sculpture, though those do not appeal to me as much. The strange clay that they're made from. I've heard that some do highly prize that, however.
No, strange clay.
Surely you've noticed the copperish clay with the black streaks in it. It's supposed to be a volcanic ash.
Quite an interesting thing if it is. You don't see that often.
No, and it's unique. Vax, no! Sorry. Cat. and it's unique to Count of Burris, from what I understand. if you are looking for a particular thing, you can roll a history check to identify.
Okay. Let's see. He's not very much into the history, but I think he's proficient at least. No, he is not.
Yeah, that's
Nope.
not ringing a bell. Your diplomacy training is quite lacking. That you can't really name most of the other countries in the world that your people are aware of.
Yeah. That fits with his current state of mind. He just kind of just nod like as she's like just kind of like acknowledging. I'm gonna take a sip.
Bax, that's my dice. Cat's trying to assert dominance on the dice. I need to put the dice away.
It's my dice, human.
All right.
My shiny math rocks.
Let's see.
They're cookie clacky math rocks. They're not shiny.
Click clack.
So, Zirin, give me a perception check.
Okey-doke. I have advantage on that now. He's got that on his back currently. I didn't need that.
All right. So, you recognize that the owner that you spoke with, Olive, up front, and she seems to be currently engaged in conversation with a well-dressed Minotaur woman, wearing flowing robes, and between her horns down the back of her head is not exactly a veil because it doesn't cover her face, but, you know, the same type of material that you would expect a veil to be made of. It's just kind of like trailing back there.
Almost like a filmy shawl.
Might be. I'm not sure what the name is.
He'll politely excuse himself and kind of just
Viola
that
just kind of salutes him with her flute.
go ahead in that direction. Just not necessarily to engage them, but just kind of listen.
All right. What languages do you speak?
I speak those four.
Yeah. Whatever language they're speaking, it's not any of those, although it does seem to have some overtones of what sounds like it might be overtones of abyssal, but not that you outright recognize.
Mm-hmm.
You know how, like, you know, each language, like, you know, Latin. If you know Latin, you can understand a few words in, like, French and Spanish and
Yeah,
and
French,
whatnot.
Spanish, Italian.
French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese. Yeah, it's kind of like that, where it's like, you know, the abyssal was one of the root languages of whatever language is being spoken over there, but it's not enough to recognize exactly. You think whatever it is, it's good and positive. Like they're having a friendly conversation.
Okay.
Now it is time, I believe, for Greg to enter the party.
Of course. The most important guest has arrived. Yeah. Ooh. What would I be wearing though? Would there be a culturally chic version of what Grung wear in their homeland?
Roll a history check.
I mean, I think Greg would know, but okay.
Greg's not
remember us
from the
being-
Grung homeworld, their homeland, so
That's a good point.
he's never been there.
So I've never been there, but I'm gonna pretend I have.
You think you know what that is? It's usually like, you know, something colorful, something loose fitting. For the most part, like, you know, loose fitting around the body, but not draping too far down the legs, because, you know, a grung still needs to be able to jump and move their arms. Like, you know, how for example, that the Minotaur woman is wearing something that drapes around her feet. A grung would have something loose in the body, but not dangling down past the knees.
Yeah, something like that, but add like a few like golden accessories to that. I want to look like I have money and a lot of like interest in metalwork and such, and stones. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You want to look
Alright.
like someone who has money to spend on jewelry.
Yes, or at least is interested in jewelry. Because I know that's like a very, very rare thing here, because they can't dig anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, though some cultures do have access to gems from other means.
Yeah, but you know that's what.
But digging is taboo. Digging more than like, you know, burrows and such is taboo. It's like basically the sort of digging that mining would be required for. Although cave mining is usually considered passable, anything dug into the ground, like making tunnels and shafts, is considered taboo. Basically, things that dwarves like to do. So poor dwarves. Dwarves were essentially wiped out during the Third Age, and what was left of them lives on in the human race.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I'd be looking like.
So you look very official and important.
And I'd just go around looking for interesting artworks. If there's something referring to the period of digging, I'd be very interested in that. But if there's not, you know, any art that
Roll perception check.
exudes richness would be fine. Perception, you say?
Yes.
I think I'm not that bad at it. I mean, I have a +1. I'm bad at it.
Yeah, you really don't notice anything.
I'm looking at a painting, but like the real life me, I do not know what I'm looking at.
You're sitting here like, this painting is made from paint.
Yes.
And it takes you 10 minutes sitting there, like standing there looking at the painting to realize that you're actually looking at one of the paintings you and your party retrieved from that vault.
You know what would be even better? I'm looking at the floor plan instead of a painting. I'm like, yeah.
You are here.
Sadly, there's no floor plan, or that would be perfect. If this was, you know, if this was the Met, that's what you'd be staring at.
Yeah, and he's
Instead of
sitting
all
here
the
thinking
cool
like,
stuff that's at the Met.
he's sitting here like waxing philosophical, think, wow, I really am here.
Here.
Boy,
Yeah.
what really is here? Huh.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, that's me. Like someone sitting on a bench, and I'm like, is that a very good artwork, or is someone just sitting on a bench? I don't know.
Yeah, is this a live art piece? I didn't realize it was
Yeah.
a dinner and a show.
Alright. Unfortunately, your perception is way low, and you don't notice anything around you during your staring. Larceny!
Yes. I don't like how you say that, like we're supposed to notice anything. Keep saying that, Chris. I don't trust you.
That's the point.
Larceny!
Yes.
What do you do when your character enters the gala?
Could I just have him be wearing just a single bow tie over whatever else he normally wears?
As long as what he normally wears is currently clean, you can wear that single bow tie.
Yeah, it's clean. I'm sure he washed it before coming.
For a
Alright.
second, I was like, watch him show up in just a bow tie, nothing else.
It's not that kind of party, sadly.
That'd be a
That's-
power move.
Yeah, but it's not that kind of party. That sort of entertainment would not go over well here.
I am
It's
the
just a
art.
bunch of feather fans, and then it becomes tasteful.
I'm going to look for the richest person in the room and walk over to them from looks only.
Give me a perception check.
All right.
You see a very well-dressed green grung who's currently staring at a painting.
Hello.
Nice,
Sorry, I'm late. I forgot it was Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
Womp womp.
Hey! Look who's arrived.
I'm sorry.
That's it. That's okay. That's fine.
You're here now.
Yep. And the three of them just arrived at this party, so it actually perfect. She coming in late to the gala would be great.
Especially considering your character apparently not wanting to be here.
Well, I was gonna play it off that if you were busy today, but Larceny, I said you see a green grung decked out in jewels and finery, just kind of staring absentmindedly at a painting. In fact, you're pretty sure it's one of the paintings that you guys found in the vault.
Given my perception check, do I recognize this grung?
No, you don't. All you're seeing is the blink.
I'm going to walk over and say hello as I try and pickpocket them.
Roll sleight of hand.
What a fucking power move.
Could you also roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Only if he botches his sleight of hand.
I guess that's fair.
Because if he gets his sleight of hand right, he doesn't touch your skin at all.
I guess.
But his stuff could have the oil on it. But also, if he does sleight of hand enough, it could be used as fabric. Because he knows about grung.
What stuff do I even have on me that he could steal?
Maybe
Money?
one of your jewels that's on your clothes.
I mean, yeah, sure. He could steal my lamp. If he steals my lamp, I'm
If you steal the lamp, you might suddenly figure out who you're stealing from. Though.
True.
So roll that sleight of hand.
I'm also going to use my psionic power to add a d6 onto my sleight of hand roll.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, Greg, as you're staring at this painting and like just suddenly realizing that, oh wait, I've actually seen this before. It was not well. You hear a somewhat familiar voice saying hello to you. Well, I need to see that sleight of hand check before anything else, though.
I'll turn around and do I recognize the voice?
As I said, I need that sleight of hand check before I can continue on.
Okay, fair.
All right.
Also,
You
my
feel a
favorite
hand.
perception.
You feel a hand grip it. Starting to pat you down, trying to take one of the little jewels on your outfit as you turn around and see
Chris,
Larceny above you.
Chris, I don't want to screw myself over, but my passive perception is actually lower than that, so I wouldn't notice.
Okay, you wouldn't notice that he's plucking a jewel off you. Got it. Never mind.
Wait,
But you do notice that Larceny is behind you.
Hello, Larceny.
Hi, how's it going? What are you looking at?
This painting, it's very nice.
Really? What's your favorite part about it?
This part right here, where the colors contrast with the other colors.
Oh yeah,
that shape.
Oh yeah, I'm also very interested in bright colors and shapes.
I thought we were gonna socialize.
Talking about, I am.
Now, don't go doing your namesake in here. We'll get in trouble if you do. If someone notices, we're gonna get in a lot of trouble, and I'm not gonna bail you out if you get thrown in jail.
Speaking of which,
What do you mean? How do you know my name?
Speaking of which, you suddenly hear a voice, off to the side saying, "It looks like you're trying to steal from this young frog. and you see a kind of well-dressed Talani, which are the horse folk, standing there wearing what looks to be a nice black dress, just kind of staring there, watching Larceny.
You must be mistaken. We're good friends.
Greg, you instantly recognize a Craxorian accent when you hear one.
Oh,
it's your you're from the area.
Mm-hmm.
And you speak with a similar accent, so.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Friends.
Yeah, you must be mistaken. He's a close friend of mine. He wouldn't steal from me, would you?
Of course not. My hand is still in his pocket.
Gonna make an insight check.
So you are a very close friend, I see. She kind of nods slightly. And you sound like you are from back home.
Maybe not as back home as you think.
Her eyes just kind of settle on you for a moment. She nods. I see.
I doubt I would be here if that was the case.
You ran off from one of the evil inner colonies, then I take it.
Ran off is a big word. I'd say I earned my way out. I earned my way here. I'm pretty thrifty.
That is good. Yes. Had plenty of dealings back in the day before I joined the diplomatic corps with the inner colonies. Their gross negligence of other people's lives.
I do agree with that statement. Not much I can do about it.
I take it you settled it here in Kalari then? You are not wishing to be repatriated perhaps to the outer colonies?
I've been quite enjoying my life here for now, I'd say. I think I'm doing quite well for myself in this town, so we'll see where it goes.
This city does seem pretty nice, all things considered, and has a vast amount of people with different opinions. She kind of glances over towards another figure nearby and just kind of shakes her head a bit. And some that are also very despicable as well.
That sounds interesting. Could you maybe... I'm not that well acquainted with everyone here yet. Could you maybe point out who I should be watchful of? As to say, I don't want to step on anyone's toes here. I want to, keep it safe. If that makes sense.
Yes, well, I would advise that you give a wide berth to Havadin and his wives.
Wives, you say?
She gestures, and you see off to one side, actually approaching Ashkar's booth, or Ashkar's table. You see a rather corpulent, even compared to Ashkar, boar man, with jeweled tusks. Tusk with various rings around it to make them look jeweled. Flanked by two, what are most likely two women, although it's kind of hard to tell. They're both veiled, and they're wearing pretty loose robes trailing down.
Are they Zingleman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll notice that Ashkar will be very, very pointedly either looking at the ambassador or looking to the floor, like in deference or in reverence.
I'm also maybe looking to invest in some, let's say, jewelry business, if that's anything you would know of.
Oh, I'm not that big on jewelry myself.
Yeah.
I am more of a soldier at heart and a diplomat after that. My husband has dealings with such intricacies. He sometimes deals with jewelry and for shipping, for transporting it from one place to another.
Could you maybe perhaps introduce us one day?
Perhaps. He is around here somewhere.
That would be great.
And what are you doing for yourself, small one?
At the moment, I'm doing some freelance business, bit of odd jobs here and there. We've done security jobs, mainly. Were the most profitable. And beside that, I'm trying to get a business started.
What kind of business?
You're just gonna have to wait and see. Can't give away the great opportunities before I can capitalize on them, can I?
Well, that is something this particular country is known for. It is a melting pot of statuses and all that. Not something I'm particularly fond of for myself, but I am pleased that others find it so appealing. Meanwhile, Ashkar. Before we see how Shio gets in here, Ashkar. You see before you again the description given to Larceny and Greg, one of your people, and you're pretty sure that this is the Havadin Stillbeck. I did say Havadin earlier, right?
You did.
Yeah, I've got all these names. I've got basically a bunch of different tabs on my side thing, all with different names of ambassadors and such.
Yeah, right now you're just dropping all the names.
Not really.
Or you happen to drop a lot of them. We're meeting a lot of people tonight that
Yes.
haven't necessarily been introduced before.
Yes. So, like, he basically looks like, good. It's good to see food from back home.
Just as me mom made it. Apologies if it's a bit simple fare, but I figured something easy on the stomach would be nice.
Well, most of these shindigs have food that most of us can't eat. Sorry, I'm bad at... I'm still not that good with accents, so I'm trying to figure out what his accent should sound like.
You're good. I just wanted to.
I just
wanted to emphasize the kind of bumpkin.
South. Yeah, I probably want to go deep south with him too, and I'm switching out from what sounded like more Eastern European from my last character. And this
You're
one
good. I
should
just want to
probably
remind
sound more
very
southern.
bumpkin-y.
Yeah, well, I know, but I mean, this character should also sound more southerny, I think. It's like, well, it's nice to see some proper food out here. Well, it's not quite southerny, but you know.
Yeah, I know what you're going
We
for.
get it. We get
Yeah,
it.
you get what I'm going for. Kind of like Foghorn Leghorn, but I don't think I can do that accent.
Well, I'll say.
Well, I'll say. So, you got some good stuff for us. Good.
Yes, I do.
Gestures. We'll take 3 of your biggest portions then.
Happily. I'm assuming you use meat eaters like myself.
More the better. You know us back from back home. We're not like these dainty folks.
Mm-hmm. Ashkar will very pointedly hand them directly to him.
Right. And he ends up handing the portions out to the 2 women who were next to him.
Well, pleasure to meet all of you. I hope you enjoy the festivities.
So, tell me, I don't think I've seen your face around. You don't seem to be part of the diplomatic corps. You a citizen here?
Yes, I am, just recently. I'm not much of a talker myself, as you can hear. I've always been one for the arts, with a bit of a dramatic flair. And I'll kind of just do a little puff of sparks in his hand.
A magic user. Well, I'll
It's always
say
come out pretty
that's-
good.
It's always good to see. But you are far from home.
Evidently, I've been here for quite some time. Or away from home for quite a while.
Well, if you ever want to come back, we could always use a chef on the diplomatic trail. Can bring you back home on our dime.
I'll keep that in mind, thank you. If I may ask, how long have you been here in the city?
Oh, about a year now. It's part of being an ambassador, after all.
Well, I can see that. It must be quite interesting.
Yeah, it can be. They're dealing with people from all over. Just he kind of shakes his head. Not the best, but tolerable.
A lot of names, a lot of faces.
True. And it might be easier to get stuff here that's really difficult to get back home.
Not wrong. Seems to be very centralized. I see all coins.
Yeah. And they get themselves a lot of imports in here.
Oh, something I did want to say. I'm a bit of a adventuring folk myself. This is actually a rather tame evening for me. But if you know any folks from back home that need a good taste of home cooking, let me know. I'll take care of them.
Well, it's always good to have some extra chefs around who know what they're doing, right?
Mm-hmm. And I'll let him know where our building is, so he can send word if he needed it.
All right. And at this point, about an hour into it, not long after Larceny has gone in, Shiu,
Yep.
would you like to attempt to attend the party, or do you have someplace else you wish to be tonight?
Well, the thing is, I was supposed to arrive with the with the guild that was supposed to be coming here.
So technically, you're already. So we'll say that you're actually already there with the rest of them then, because I was. We were trying to remember who was in the guild, and then you were there. But yeah, so you have been in and around the hall, kind of dressed in finery, with other members of the Dance of Blades guild, and pretty much just hanging out. And you've now seen most of your party. Roll me a perception check.
All right. Hold on, before I make this roll, let me just check that I have this set up properly.
All right.
I do.
All right. So you happen to spot the moment that Larceny, for some reason, has attempting to pickpocket Grek, and that he has in turn been spotted by a tall, elegantly dressed Talani woman who has gone over and engaged both Grek and Larceny in conversation. Is there anything you wish to do about this?
I want to take Larceny out of this, and pretend I'm gonna give him a stern talking to or throw him out, and then I'm just gonna tell him to be more careful.
All right. So the woman has walked away apparently to do this or that. It's hard exactly to know where she's going. And I was left Grek and Larceny behind, giving you the perfect opportunity to come and talk to Larceny.
Oh wait, Larceny.
Oh, hey, Shio. What's going on? I didn't think you'd be here.
Well, yeah, I'm one of the gods here, and I saw what you were trying to do, and just be more careful. It might not be me next time who notices.
You got it, boss man.
And with that, I walk off.
All right. So let's see. Next up would be Zirin. Give me a perception check. Oh, Zirin went be right back. Sorry. Just noticed that. Greg and Larceny, since you're standing together at the moment, both of you give me perception checks.
Perception. Why do we have to make?
I'm having terrible rolls today.
Oh, I might see something. Maybe, probably not, because if it's assassins, they're good stuff.
Alright. What do you see? Alright. Oh, no, you definitely didn't see that.
That's fun to hear.
After the boar man finishes getting food at Ashgar's stand, he apparently is heading in your direction.
Mine.
Well, the direction towards where you and Larceny happen to be standing at any rate.
Mm-hmm. You did mention he had a lot of jewelry.
Yeah,
Like,
his tusks, which are high above your head, have jewels on them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And his wives have beaded veils that have, they're kind of nice looking in that sense. They're not like flat black or anything like that.
I'm gonna try and not obviously take a few steps out of his direct walking path, but just nonchalantly wander off a bit to a painting next to the painting I'm looking at, and to see if he's coming to the painting or to me.
So you're gonna look preoccupied, essentially.
Yeah,
I'm gonna I didn't notice him coming my way. Let's put it this way. That's how I want to look.
Did you warn Larceny about this?
Nah. You know what? I'll go Larceny. There's a big guy. Behave.
Larceny, what do you do?
I'm gonna ask if he's rich or if he looks rich.
He looks very rich, as he has tusks filled with with tusk rings that are jeweled.
See. Since I rolled solo, I don't think I know how big he is and whatnot. So
I'm just gonna say he looks poor, so that he maybe goes away because he's not interested in stealing from poor people, right? I don't know, but I say it very quietly so he doesn't hear me calling him poor. You know. Because I think that could go badly if he hears me call him poor.
If he says that he's poor, I'll just be kind of going, "Aw," and then walk away.
Alright. So the Zing man and his wives stop and look at the painting, and the man just kind of makes a face at the painting. So he's not entirely sure what he's looking at. He just kind of shakes his head a bit. What decadence is this? Do you do anything?
Would I know what decadence that painting is?
He seems to be talking to himself.
Yeah, but as I look at the painting,
it's the one it's the one you've been staring at. It's one of which one of the paintings, by the way, did you keep?
I have a note on that. I took... Where is it? The one with the demons.
Alright.
The painting... I'll walk a bit closer. And I'll go... Oh. That painting was found in... Where did we find it? evil sorcerer's dungeon?
No, it was in a an old cult temple's
Oh yeah, that was
vault.
found in like an old gold temple.
Kind of like looks down at you. Oh, oh, really, little one.
Yes. Some acquaintance of mine actually recovered that one.
Ah, I see. Well, explains why you didn't just keep them for yourself then.
It's not my style, to be honest. I am more of I like more robust stage paintings. If I'm gotta be honest with you, you know.
He kind of like eyes you up and down. Don't usually see one of your kind dressed up in jewels like that.
You know, not everyone is what they seem.
Especially not in colors like that. I've
But
heard,
this,
I've heard that it's usually the more orange or goldy fellows that might even come close to sporting fine taste.
oh, you know, we're not a monolith, as people think. I'm quite a unique individual within my let's say species, if you were to call it that.
Yeah, he snorts a bit and seems to be rather dismissive of you.
I'm gonna make my guardian, my oh, what's it called again?
Unseen servant?
My unseen servant bring me a glass of wine.
Alright.
If he knows anything about Grun, he'd be like, "Wait, that's weird." If he doesn't, like, I'll know he's like just a poser. Like he knows nothing of my race. Get out of here.
And he kind of like shakes his head. A green grung using magic. This is most unusual. Jeweled and using magic. Perhaps you're simply dyed the wrong color.
Maybe. Or maybe there wasn't a color yet to describe how unique I am.
And while you're doing that, Zirin, please give me a perception check.
Okie dokie.
Alright. So, sometime after speaking with Viola and, noticing other members of your party entering in, and finally noticing that Chew is actually here and appears to be with the Dance of Blades as he is on guard duty, watching over people. You are standing, like, probably near one of the sculptures. A nice kind of reddish sculpture with some interesting fine black ash, like, traced through it, so that it just looks really neat. I always liked that color pattern, the black, the red with the black streaks. It is exquisite. As you're like kind of standing there, maybe occasionally looking at it, but mostly probably with your back to it and looking at the party, a dragonborn eventually like comes to stand nearby you. He is like slowly sipping wine, and just seems to be also staring out at the party. Dragonborn on this world, by the way, usually have tails, and so he has a tail.
Did he show up with me, or is he just another party guest?
He's just another party guest, from what you know.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of glances at him.
It's kind of like this green, this kind of green in color. And he like kind of glances back a little bit. I don't think we've met.
No, I can't say I've seen you before.
You're not a diplomat, are you, though?
Define diplomat.
He kind of shakes his head and drinks his wine. I don't know why. I'm trying to get the right voice. It's supposed to be more English, English style accent. But I'm bad with that.
Like posh English or like Welsh or
Posh, posh. He's supposed to sound like posh English. I don't know why I decided I had to come out. I can't stay worrying back in my home.
Worrying? Worrying about what?
Yeah. You're from this land? You're from this country? Or are you from up north?
More north.
Well, my homeland across the ocean is currently in war.
That sucks.
Yes. Oh, very much so, and I can't get anyone out this way to lend any aid. That's what really sucks. They say it's not simply because of the war, but because of the rumors of the plague that they're spreading in that way. And he kind of rubs the bridge, between his eyes. Sorry, I did not mean to spoil your evening. I just... I'm worried.
That's reasonable.
I actually have a quick question as a player.
Go ahead.
Just because, that screams plot hook, that's not, directly next to my station or anything, is it? That my character would hear?
You might hear.
Okay.
And just bear in mind, some stuff is potential plot hooks. Others are also lore dump backgrounds.
Yeah.
Or for things that you might get involved with at a distance. You don't necessarily have to go traipsing across the ocean or anything like that, but you could find ways of helping out if you wish to.
Mm-hmm. Or this stuff in Skyrim or Fallout. You'll see factions patrolling that you'll interact with, but you don't have to follow the storyline immediately.
Right. Or it's more like in Skyrim where you might hear news of the war that was waged way down south.
Yeah, with the Thalmor and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's well, you can't actually do anything about that. That's that's the continent. It's the bottom half of the continent, and all you can see is Skyrim. You can't leave the area of Skyrim because you've got your own stuff going on. But he's just kind of shaking his head. I need to talk to more people over in that area. Perhaps some of the folks down in Bolotham. Wait, did I pronounce that right? I am terrible at pronouncing things. Yeah, Bolotham. I had it right. Good.
All I know is it makes you think of a Pokemon. Bolotham.
Bolotham. It's a continent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't got a lot of contacts here yet myself, so...
Have you spoken with your embassy?
Nope. I have not done that.
Well, I suppose you don't have to. I mean, if you're not here as part of the diplomatic corps, then, well, kind of shakes his head and sips his wine some more. Sorry, I didn't mean to be burdening you with any of my worries.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
All this red tape would be about to go through to get help.
I hear that. I guess I'm worried because my remaining daughter is fighting somewhere up there. She's a soldier, a commander, leading troops into battle.
Maybe... Yeah, it's a risk. Maybe someone in the tie top ward might be able to get you some more ties.
Maybe. I guess talking about this in the diplomatic chambers gets nowhere, but perhaps talking to individuals might aid. He kind of nods and starts heading off. Unless you stop him, of course.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't, because I don't think he doesn't have really like a lot of connection-wise yet, and I don't feel like he would want to travel across the sea either.
All right. So next person up, Larceny. Give me a perception check. What are you currently doing, Larceny?
I'm going to be looking at. Are there any sculptures?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of sculptures. There's the one that Ziran just wandered away from. Oh no, sorry, he didn't run away from it. He's still standing there. But the Dragonborn had wandered away from. There's a couple of others of various kinds, like the. Any particular sculpture you're looking for? You know, are you looking for abstract? Are you looking for like something looks significant? What sort of sculpture would you want to go look at?
Like one that would look very significant or out of place.
Well, given this is the gallery, none of it's out of place. But in terms of significance, give me 1 second. Need to open up a particular page. Yeah, man, where are you? Ah, okay. So you do see what it looks like a small, not a small, but a sculpture is about your size instead of like what would be life-sized, made out of the nice reddish clay that gives it a nice coppery sheen. And this one appears to be a dragon with some fine scale detail. Just kind of standing with wings folded, looking out over the gallery.
I would be standing near it and just admiring the scales.
Yeah, it looks like someone spent a lot of time and effort making this. So you're kind of like there on your own. It looks like. Shia, do you continue to look after Larceny, or are you just watching over the entire room?
I'm gonna be kind of like keeping my distance from Larceny, but like not too much to the point where I can't see him. Just so I don't appear like I'm just hovering over him.
Alrighty then. So next one up, if Larceny is taking in some nice art. Ashkar, give me a perception check.
Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. He's a simple folk.
Yeah, so you're probably in the middle of maybe making another batch, or like something that you don't notice. You don't notice who's coming up to your table until they're practically on top of you.
Yep.
And you see in front of you a very dark-skinned, black, since the majority of them are that color. Spider-Ack. It's basically a spider person, many legs, kind of a torso with arms and hands, and
Are they built
like
similar to a
multiple eyes.
Thrycreen? Sort of like having multiple arms on the torso?
No, they've only got one set of arms, but they got multiple legs.
Okay.
But they do have the mandibles like a Thrycreen, but they can pronounce a lot more words than a Thrycreen can.
Yeah, they have more vocal range.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my character wouldn't have a problem with them, but I, as a player, hate spiders, so bleh.
I am very sorry
You're good.
that you're not being confronted with a spider person.
Yeah. But like the character doesn't have a problem with it. Because I'm
Right.
assuming they exist commonly enough.
Oh yeah,
No.
What?
I was just gonna say, like, there's one character who's gonna have a problem, probably. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So the spider guy, kind of like stands there and is looking over your food offerings.
Well, what can I do for you?
I don't think I've tried food from your region before. This is Luthara fare, yes?
Yes, sir, or more. I apologize.
Sir,
I haven't seen
it's
many
fine.
of your.
Oh, don't worry. Most beings, not Spiterac, can't tell one gender from another, and it usually doesn't matter anyway, unless you're intending, kind of like gives it a shrugging thing.
Mm-hmm. I understand, and I appreciate it. I'm assuming you're more of a carnivorous persuasion.
Well, technically we are omnivores, but we do very much enjoy meat. Yes.
Well, then take your pick. I got a motion to the options.
And he kind of like looks around, and as I said, I'm not familiar with your culture or foods. So how about you recommend something for me?
Well, personally, I've always been a rather voracious meat lover myself. Recommend. If I might ask, your kind, or are you sensitive to spice, to heat?
Oh, no, we are not. If you mean by we cannot tolerate, no, that's not the case at all.
Well, I simply wanted to make sure. The Orcoin, with us being farther south, we like our meals with a bit of bite back.
Ah, well, we are nearly well, not quite as south as you. We are closer to the equator, but if I recall right. But yes, I will try that. And he kind of like extends a hand out.
I'll happily give him a serving.
You don't happen to have any that don't have meat or other animal products, do you?
I actually do. I made sure to converse with the hostess ported me before I set up. And I'll motion to the other side. I'll kind of play it side by side.
Oh, well, if I can have one, I think I would like to bring this to my wife.
I'd be happy to provide. Do you need help carrying it over?
Oh, no, I'm quite fine, don't worry.
Then I'll hand the two. Oh, the name's Ashkor. My pleasure to meet you.
Ascar, well, I am Maximilus.
Maximilus.
Yes.
My pleasure.
I am husband to the ambassador from our region, from Kraxor.
Well, this is quite a star-studded event. My pleasure.
Well, there are several ambassadors and their spouses around.
I just saw the Zentorith one a moment ago.
Yes. He is not the most pleasant of fellows, but I think I might need to at least make an attempt at some business dealings with him. Perhaps.
What do I recommend? I don't know who all knows this. Leave his romantic partners be. They appreciate the
I am quite aware of that. One of the lessons in the diplomat, even when you're simply married into the diplomatic corps, is, certain cultural sensitivities.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, and hope your evening goes well.
You as well.
And he wanders off. So let's see who's up next. Shiu, can you give me a perception check?
Yeah. There it is.
All right, give me 1 second. So you're not entirely startled when a large feline woman, a Leonin, not a tabaxi from the look of things, manages to not exactly stealth, but the fake stealthing that you see sometimes people doing. Where they're being overly dramatic about it while acting like they're pretending to sneak.
Like a child thinking they're a spy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she is doing that, coming up towards you, and you kind of spot her on the corner of your eye.
I'm thinking Kronk from Emperor's New Groove with a little theme song.
I've never seen that.
Oh,
You're missing out.
Do I know this woman?
No, you do not.
I'm just gonna turn over and just can I help you?
Let me get the correct page up for her. Okay, so that's who I need to look for. Did I give her a name? She stops and she kind of grins down at you. Well, a little owl. And you appear to be one of the guards here. Staring at your post, are you?
Yeah, you could say something like that I am.
How interesting that something so small like you would be trusted to keep an eye on things.
I'm just going to let you know that this owl has talent.
Ah, yes. Good talents indeed. But still nothing compared to my claws. Or my co-wives' claws. We have great talents indeed. She's attempting to intimidate you.
What do I roll against intimidation?
Insight. Yeah, she's not getting you at all. She's being very playful, as if again, the analogy for a small child attempting to scare somebody, sort of thing, versus the somebody that's about to squash you, sort of threat.
Yes, and that's not going to quite work on somebody of my caliber.
Interesting. Quite unfazed. I take it you have been hunted before and stayed cool.
I've been hunted. My first experience in being hunted was when I was a young child. This doesn't scare me at all anymore.
She kind of looks you over. If I had so that is why predators do not faze you. Well, I have hunted things not unlike you, although quite a bit bigger than you.
If you mean owl folk in general, we do come in much larger sizes. I'm quite the small one.
I was thinking more of the ones that wear your face, but have a lot of fur as well.
I'm not sure I quite understand.
Roll a nature or arcana check.
As a player, is this an? Are they talking about owlbears?
Yeah, you have no idea what she's talking about. They are quite big and could easily... You would be little more than a chub to them, and they might even eat you.
Oh. Why exactly are you telling me this?
Well, because it's fun. It's rather boring in here. It's all art. And Similis is busy watching over her husband. So I am left looking for something interesting to do.
I suppose since we've been talking long enough, my name is Shianue. Who would you be?
I am Argona. She kind of like bows her head. Argona Atomas, a wife of the ambassador from Regal.
Where is that?
Regal is the country to the west of the Wolven Federation. They've kind of had a tense border dispute, more of a cold war than anything else going between the two nations. Like basically, one of the reasons why they have ambassadors here in Kalari is basically to keep them from, blowing up at each other and dragging the region into a war.
Oh, I see.
But you still look like a little snack to me, but you are holding up well. She reaches out to attempt to pat you on the head. Do you allow it, or do you try to dodge?
I'm just gonna let it happen.
Yeah, it does not look dignified.
I'm just gonna look disgruntled while it happens.
I have to say, though, that out of character, that is incredibly cute. Just thinking of a disgruntled little owl being patted by a lion. But,
As a player, I actually just thought of something that I'll actually be able to recreate. Have you guys seen that meme? Like, you're a Kenku rogue, and you see your wizard's fireball coming in? We have a little bird folk rogue. And I'm about to learn fireball.
Oh, God damn it.
What? I don't think I know that meme.
I'll see if I can pull it up for you. It's great.
Alright, post it to the meme section.
Can do.
That way for all to see and enjoy.
Just 3 more levels and I can get evasion, so I don't have to worry about that.
Evasion is good stuff. Let's see, who is next? So at the moment, what is each of you doing? I know Shio is, watching over things after being left a little bit less dignified than he had been.
I'm still talking to Boorman, right?
He has wandered. He and his wives have wandered off at this point.
I'm gonna look for the horse lady's husband if he's here, but he's not here, is he?
He is, but you didn't get a description of him.
I presume he's a horseman. I know that's wrong, but I'm gonna look for a horseman. If I can't find that, I'm gonna look for
You didn't even get her name, but roll perception check.
Oh God. I'm looking for a man who likes a strong woman. Perception, you say? Could I do investigation instead?
Oh, sure. I'll allow that.
Okay, that's slightly better. But that's a good roll.
You see what appears to be a that same Talani woman in the black dress off to one corner near statues with a couple of other people. And out of the corner of your eye, as you start to head that way to talk to her, you see another grung. This one blue in color.
Oh God. Oh.
Awkward.
What do you do, Grek? There seems to be another grung nearby, and they are looking over in your direction. In fact, if you're glancing, do you do more than just like try to avoid eye contact? You glance their way. The decision dice. Good times.
I'm gonna be honest, out of character, I completely forgot that owlbears existed.
I opened up several
That's
packs of
great.
magic cards and found at least 2 of them today. No, sorry, more than that because there was 2 different pictures in there, so at least 3, maybe 4. They are cute. And they are vicious. What do you do, Greg?
Can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, Quentin, you've gone silent. Oh, robot.
Hello?
Discord's dying.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, yeah. For now, I'm gonna ignore him and go talk to the gentleman. But
Which gentleman?
didn't I find the husband?
No, I said you spotted the Talani woman that you had spoken to earlier.
Okay, yeah.
In the corner with several other people.
In that case, I'm gonna go over to the blue grung, I guess.
And as you even look in that direction of the blue grung, you spot another Talani. This one, they seem to be standing actually fairly close to one another. This one's actually wearing robes, and seems to kind of grin down towards you. And you hear a voice with a very different accent from the last Talani you spoke to. I'm not entirely sure what accent I should be doing with this, but just to be sure if it sounds the same, it's actually a very different accent. It's like, wow, look at this! I didn't know there were any more grung here. Look at this, Dex. It seems that there's other of your people here. The blue grung kind of tilts their head a bit and responds with, hello. You're pretty sure it's a female grung, by the way, as you get close.
And her name was?
The Talani referred to them as Dex.
Hey, Dex, and I'm gonna reach my hand out to shake hers.
If I recall, can grung poison each other?
They can't, we're immune to poison.
I thought so. So, yeah, she reaches her hand out shyly and just starts shaking a bit.
I'm gonna say, it feels good to do a handshake again. It's been a while. Not that many of us here.
You have it sounds like a Kraxorian accent.
I'm not that happy with it.
Oh, you're an escapee from... She nods.
Not many other options are there.
Well,
But,
of course, you can always seek asylum in the homeland.
I could, but I'm trying something different.
Right.
Are you an emissary? Is that
Oh,
the word?
no. Oh, no. I work for Ambassador Hypillin here.
Ah,
And the other Talani kind of grins and kind of nods his head up and down. Like, it looks as if he wants to go in for a handshake, but, like, recognizing that that's not a good idea, he just kind of nods. Yes, Hypillin Deximus, ambassador from the Drazi Empire.
you wouldn't happen to have a very beautiful Talani, was it? Am I right?
Yeah, the Talani species, yeah.
Yeah. Talani
Me?
wife?
Married?
That is...
No! He laughs. No, I am not married. Too many beautiful women.
I spoke to a very nice Talani woman earlier who said her husband had knowledge within the jewelry business, and I was wondering if I could.
He kind of like looks around.
To know them.
It's like, well, the only Talani woman I've seen around here is an Ambassador Calvari from the Kraxorian Empire.
Yeah, I noticed.
Well, her husband's probably She kind of glances over in a corner. Oh, there they are, and she kind of gestures towards her, and you see that she's just standing with the with the spider rack man.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both eating back there.
They're not eating granola, are they?
No. It's whatever Ashkar served.
Yep.
Anyway, so nice to meet you. I guess. So what is it you two do?
Oh well, I advocate for my country, or our country rather, of course. Yeah. After all, technically the Grung sovereignty isn't technically Drazi, the part of it isn't officially part of the empire. We do protect it and help share with them our interests.
Mm-hmm.
So things that benefit us and the empire do also benefit the sovereignty.
That's true.
Basically, I don't know how much you know about United States politics, and there might be some things that are similar in your country or in your side of the world that you might know.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the rest of you guys that are in the States are concerned, it's kind of like the situation in Puerto Rico, where the sovereignty isn't sure if they want to stay territory, want to join up and officially become part of the empire, or want to go their own way and say, hey, we want to be our own country. They're kind of caught in between that state.
Yeah.
So they're basically Puerto Rico as far as the Drazi Empire is concerned.
I must thank you and your countrymen then for assisting my people.
Well, it's been a few hundred years. What is it? Maybe 200? And he kind of looks over at Dex, and she kind of shrugs a little bit. Something like that. Years since we liberated your country from Kraxorian rule, but I know it has not been easy.
I hope it's going better there. I can only hope. Haven't been there actually, to be honest.
As I said, Dex interjects, but she seems to be rather soft-spoken. We are always accepting repatriation from our scattered people who were taken and enslaved by the Kraxor long ago.
True. But I found a new path, and I'm trying to pursue it. Presuming from what I can see, you must be quite the artisan yourself?
They both look at you.
I mean, from what I know, Bluegrun are like artisans and caretakers, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not exactly an artist, but I do take care of Hypelin here. I am his assistant. I do have some knowledge of art, though. The paintings and the sculpture are quite fine, and from what I understand, the clay used to make the sculptures is quite rare. Yeah, yes, and at this point, the Talani interrupts. Yes, it has to be sourced specially from Canterburis. I've been hoping to talk to the ambassador about that. That perhaps she would be willing to allow some more exports. Perhaps that we in the Empire can help. Anything that we can exchange that could get some exports of that lovely clay.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, of course, very rare outside that outside Canterburis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you an art appreciator? And
Of sorts, my preferred medium of art is more to do with metallurgy and maybe history. I am quite interested in the big what's the event called with demons?
that was the Third Age.
I'm quite interested and intrigued by the events of the Third Age.
Aren't we all? So many things came out of there.
Mm-hmm.
That was before the founding of the Empire, though.
Sure.
Back then, at the end of the Third Age, there was just a bunch of scattered nations in that region of the world.
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, I was wondering if I could maybe get some assistance in showing me around the city, and I point this towards
Dex.
Dex.
Hold on.
I'm still quite new to the city.
Oh, well,
Dex.
we've been here a bit on diplomatic missions. I've had to run errands, of course. She kind of looks over at Hephill and is like, well, I should be in council chambers the next day. Perhaps the two of you can meet up then.
If that is if that's possible, I would be quite happy to get to peruse the town a bit more and get to know this beautiful city better. Anyway, I've got some more art to go look at, and I still need to meet a lot of people. I'm still new, and you know how networking is. Got to know a lot of people to start something, and anyway, it was very nice talking to you.
It's a pleasure. Well, always nice to meet some new faces.
I hope you'll be hearing more from me later, and I start heading off.
All right. Who wants to be next?
I'm fine going last. We haven't talked to Zirian in a hot minute.
All right. Zirian, do any of the people that have been previously described seem interested to you that you might want to go talk to them, or would you like to roll to see if there's anyone new that you wish to speak with?
Let's see. I feel like I think like he'd roll, but otherwise the only one of interest was probably if he saw the very animated sneaking person on the owl. But
Yeah, you probably saw her sneaking up on that owl and attempting to intimidate your friend.
yeah, that would probably be the one. Yeah, he probably had chat with that person.
Yeah. She seems to be stopping off at one of the other tables, although pointedly ignoring Ashkar.
Well, hello there.
Pointedly ignoring me?
Yep. She kind of looks up. She has a meat skewer from one of the other places, and in another hand she has some doesn't look like wine. It looks like somewhere along the way, she managed to acquire an ale, and is, drinking it. She kind of like lowers the meat skewer a bit, and looks at you, looks at the. You're still wearing the skull, right?
Mhm.
Grand. And she chuckles. Well, that one didn't get away fast enough, now did it?
I guess you can say that.
Did you hunt
Couldn't
it
help but.
yourself?
No. More found it.
Ah,
Or led to it.
pity. But hunting for oneself is so rewarding. She
I can't disagree.
sucks down some of the ale.
I saw your stalking. He kind of looks where the hole was.
Oh, I couldn't help myself. Seeing a guard quite that small was very amusing.
Size, I find, is not exactly an indication of one's strength.
You think that he had a little knife that he was going to stab me with?
Let's say I've seen him in action.
Have you now? So you know him?
Yes. Not maybe in detail, but we've been in a fight.
And
Not
what
me and him.
is your name?
Zirian Goldspire.
I am Ergona. Ergona Atomos.
You know, quite the pleasure. So, brings you here? You don't seem like the one that cares for the arts.
Oh, I am not. I am here to keep an eye on my husband, of course. But, well, my co-wife, she is busy keeping an eye on him herself, and I could go wander for a bit. Eventually we'll have to trade places, and she will get to wander a bit, and I will be staying at his side, keeping an eye out for him.
A nod. Sounds like sounds like right now you're getting a bit of a break. Get to enjoy the sights, see if there's anything interesting.
Not very much of my thing.
Yeah, it's very quiet, unfortunately.
She kind of twitches her ears. I wouldn't call this music and all the conversation quiet. Why, are you speaking of something more exciting? Adventure, perhaps?
Yeah, I find that's always more fun.
Ah, yes. Well, come here, where are you? Well, Similis and I do very much enjoy the hunting ranges back home. So much prey to run down. And if our husband is very lucky, we might actually serve some to him.
Kind of chuckle. That's fair. Yeah, the only things I've gotten hunted here so far has been, let's see, first it was some rats in the sewers. Oh, there were zombies at one point, and skeletons.
Zombies? How vulgar. People actually still use those from time to time?
I think it was a trap in some sort of temple thing. I wasn't paying much attention. I just saw them, so I hit them. They broke easily. Too easily. Not as much fun.
Yes, and I don't imagine they were edible either.
No. I mean, unless you had a tough stomach, but...
Even then, I doubt I'd make a pleasant meal.
Well, I agree. I feel like... Let's see. Oh, what's the best meal I've had since I've been here? Honestly, I think the best meal I've had was still in the Traveler's Award.
The Traveler's Award? I've heard of such a place, but I've never actually been there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dump. But Yeah, stronger people can. They don't. The guards don't seem to really stop much.
From what I understand, that entire area is lawless.
That seems so. Kind of fun, in a way.
I suppose. Guess it gives you leeway to beat on things, which is always fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just. I'm not gonna pick on a random little person. I prefer the ones that come at me, you know, because then you know they're brave enough and might put up a fight.
This is very true. As entertaining as this particular conversation is, we haven't heard from Larceny in a while.
I'm just looking at a statue.
Anybody of that cast of people look interesting to talk to for you? Or do you wish to roll, or what?
I want to see if there's any other tieflings here.
Alright, roll for tiefling check. So that would be an investigation. You look around and you only see above the crowd one small set of horns, but you're pretty sure they belong to a minotaur.
No. I might talk to that. Did I see Shio get harassed?
Yeah, you probably would have noticed Shio getting harassed, possibly making you laugh. I don't know what your sense of humor is in terms of character.
My character is very protective of Shio, I feel.
Oh, then probably not laughing, but yeah, you notice that she's now talking to Zirin.
I'd probably go over to see if Shio is okay.
Alright.
Shio, you doing alright? I saw what happened.
I've been working so hard for years not to be just seen as a small meal.
I know what you mean.
And then I get treated like that.
I know, it's awful.
I occasionally just make this angry screeching sound that barn owls sometimes make.
I just really wish Larceny would pinch you on the cheek and say, there, it'll be okay, little guy.
I don't think you would do that.
I know, but it would have been so funny.
That would be condescending, just like what she did to him, so I think at that point that would be bad.
I know. Just for comedic timing, it would have been perfect.
How about we give her a little scare back? What do you say?
No, I'm here to do my job. I'm just gonna go watch over the rest of the room. I'll talk to you later.
All right then. I'm gonna go off to another painting then.
I feel like that's the kind of shit that people end up going to the bar after work like, man, I hate my job.
I need a drink.
Mm-hmm. Most people need a stiff drink, but since he's a rogue, he needs a stiff and a drink. Go on, keep chit-chatting.
Oh crap! I was muted. So Larceny, there are wine glasses circulating by the waiters, but you happen, because you're paying attention to her, You do happen to notice that the lion woman has managed to acquire a mug of something that's most likely ale. What do you want to do? Hello?
Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm looking through what I.
Sorry,
character.
I was just making sure you weren't muted like I was. Because I was mute talking for a bit and didn't realize it.
No, I don't think I can do anything that I think he would want to do. Oh, wait. Mm, nah. Feel like that'd cause too much damage. I was gonna make the room shake a little bit to maybe scare everyone. Don't want to hurt any artifacts or whatever.
Yeah, especially if they figure out it was you. You might end up owing a lot of money.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. So I'd say he would probably just go back to a painting or so, or just move on.
So, what do you wish to do? Just talking with Shio?
Yeah, I think I would have him walk around with Shio if Shio's okay with it.
Yeah, if he's following me around, I'll let him. But like, I'm not. I'm just gonna be looking for something else to do.
Alright. Ashkar. It's getting towards the... Well, it's getting a bit towards the closing times. Basically, you can shut down your grill now. Probably all the food that you have out is going to last for the rest of the evening. You'll probably be able to get out and mingle if you want. What do you do?
Sure.
Ashkar.
Sorry, I was talking. Mute talking. I was thinking, one thing, just like social interaction wise, I could see I can see a very interesting interaction being between the Leonin and Ashkar. But if she's pointedly avoiding him, he honestly wouldn't really notice her or think to pursue because, it's kind of creepy. So I guess he just kind of wander, appreciate the art, and mingle. If someone specifically spoke to him, he would respond. But then just enjoy the atmosphere.
All right.
Because he would have noticed. I think he would have noticed the look when she pointedly looked at him, then looked at her skewer, and then looked back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Regellians and Zintharians don't tend to get along very well. Which is interesting because both ambassadors have 2 wives, but they couldn't be more different from each other.
Like they're completely opposites.
Yeah, but both of them are kind of fancy in a way. They both like, both of the men like jewelry. They both have 2 wives, but the lion's wives are also his bodyguards. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, with Ashkar, with how he was raised, or kind of not like worldly traveling, but traveled enough, I don't think he specifically would have problems with them. But if they avoided him, he wouldn't pursue. I'm sure he'd have tales from his mother growing up and know the trouble that they can get into.
Trouble? What trouble? There's no trouble here.
Okay.
All I can think of, just based off the way I have Ashkar talking, is that scene from The Lion King where Nala is chasing Pumbaa. She's gonna eat me!
Basically, yeah, that was sort of the look. It's like, I would rather eat you than talk to you. And not in the fun way for you.
Mm-hmm. She would eat me alive! Literally!
Yeah. Shiu, what's your plan here?
Well, I was gonna try to find something like to see if there was actually something to do to get my mind off of being humiliated.
Well, there are people to talk to, or you can play your luck with perception roll.
I'll do a perception. That is a rubbish perception roll.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. Found the right page. All right. Yeah. So you're just like wandering off to check for things. You find yourself looking at that sculpture that Larceny had been staring at for a while, the copper dragon one, and that dragonborn that one of your party, Zirin, had a conversation with seems to be standing there. It's like looking down at his empty wine glass at the moment.
I'm just gonna keep staring at this sculpture, but like angrily.
Angrily stares at sculpture.
And he's just kind of like not paying attention to you and just looking at the sculpture too. So 2 of you are just staring with different expressions at a sculpture.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Sometimes you gotta angrily stare at a sculpture.
Greg, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can find someone who looks like they have knowledge of artisanry. Artisanry? Like
Artisanship.
artisanship.
Give me an investigation roll. All right. So, you find yourself coming up upon the gallery's owner, Olive, cheetah woman, and she kind of like smiles down towards you. Nearby, like busy chatting with somebody else, you see a Leonin man, but it doesn't look like the one. In fact, this is like the second Leonin man you see. You like saw another one out of your corner of your eye, like a very fancifully dressed one with jewels and stuff in his hair. And you're possibly looking for him originally, but since you've found the gallery owner, and you notice that this other Leonin is nearby, I was like, she is a sculptor. She probably knows all this sort of stuff. Are you enjoying yourself? She asks.
Oh yes, this is a wonderful selection you've brought here.
Oh, well, I've created some of the sculptures, and my husband, and she gestures towards the Leonin man nearby. He did some of the paintings. We didn't do all, of course. We've also sourced some. Is there any questions you wish to ask?
Did one of you make that beautifully looking sculpture made out of, and I used the fancy term for volcanic ash mud.
Oh,
it's like
yes,
the fancy term.
I make those. I sourced them. I'm originally from Canterbury, and I grew up making stuff with that sort of material, and I've brought various of my sculptures here.
I must say, it's a beautiful material, and it's made even more beautiful with your artistry.
Why, thank you.
I was wondering how much this, and I look for the smallest statue.
All right. Let's see. With that perception investigation check, you'd probably notice that in an area that's set up in a way that people can't easily touch them, but they can still look at them. Like there's like a bit of a glass partition between them. There's like several smaller sculptures made from the same material of various figures, mostly look like people, like small people sculptures, minotaurs, tabaxi, what look to be some kind of bird people, not the kind that your little Shiu friend is.
Yeah, an elegant bird.
Yeah, they look more like hawks or falcons or something, like or eagles, Aarakocra, statues of Aarakocra, and dragonborn and things like that. Like all kind of dressed similarly to each other, like basically a cultural thing.
How much for that one? And I point at the bird one.
Oh,
is there?
What? Go ahead.
Is there a reptilian one?
Reptilian, no. Because technically, I always treat dragonborn as dragon folk, which are to me warm-blooded, but have warm-blooded, but not mammalian or not birds either. They have.
I mean amphibian, but probably the same answer.
Actually, yes, there are some. That's right. That would draw your attention. There are some depictions of what look to be some kind of frog folk, but they are, from what you could tell, a bit taller and perhaps skinnier would be the word than your kind.
Could you tell me a bit more about this?
Oh, these are Lerp. They don't venture out much from beyond Canterburos. They're more likely to see one of your kind than you are to see a Lerp in this region.
Sure.
They are gentle folk of Canterburos. They live in the swamp canyons. of the West. They fish, they farm kelp. They're elegant craftsmen.
How much would that piece be?
Oh, I'm selling them for 50 gold.
Oh. In that case, I'll take... How many small sculptures are there?
How many do you want to buy?
That's my question. How many are there?
I mean, are you looking to collect a full set? Are you just decorating a mantle? What is your plan here?
I mean, how big is this? Because this needs to think of like a trophy case
Yeah.
kind of situation.
So definitely smaller than a cat. I'm trying to look around to see if there's. Oh, do you know those little like posable art figures, like with the
Yeah.
the human body? They're probably about that size. So you could fit a bunch of them on a desk. You could fit several layers worth of them on a mantelpiece, really. But they're very elegant.
I'll take 7.
All of the frog kind, or are you looking for a selection?
I mean, how many different ones are there?
Let me double check. I just closed that page on Canterbury's because I was looking up Olive's stats. Let me reopen Canterbury's a second and take a look at it. So what you see is you see Minotaur, Dragonborn, Aarakocra, what you refer to as Lerp, Knoll, and tall, elegant tabaxi, kind of closer. What probably if they were colored in instead of like made out of the nice, beautiful clay, baked clay, they would probably look more like her than other tabaxi, like cheetah people. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
If I may
6.
ask this,
There are 6 primary races in that region.
if I may ask, by the way, what's on my mind? The clay, like that you've been describing, whatnot, is that like the Japanese? Is it like Reiku?
It might be. I don't know that offhand. I'm gonna have to look that up.
You're good. It's like a very, very specific process that involves like pre-treating and then doing another treatment after it's been fired that causes it to get really nice cracks, like very nice texture.
Oh, it's not. It's not cracked. It's
Sorry, it looks like cracks, but there's no texture to it. It's all visual.
In this case, basically, it is a lovely red clay that somehow manages to have little veins of what looks like ash running through it.
Marbles?
Yeah, it's got a marble texture somehow. It's like, usually when you're mixing up clay and everything like that, everything gets diffuse and evens out. Somehow, even though this has clearly been worked on and sculpted with techniques, the ash has managed to still stay veiny and marbled inside of it. So it has a really unique, special look to it.
I'll take 2 of each.
So that would... Oh, that is really cool, Dank. So that would be 12. So 50 gold each times 12.
600.
Yeah. You're spending 600 gold on sculpture. Okay.
Of course I am.
Mr. High Roller over here.
I got so much platinum, I gotta use it somehow.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Take your time.
So how do I even write this down in my notebook? In my inventory? Just
Very carefully.
12 ash clay statues?
Yeah. 12 of them. Yeah, they're Canterbury's mini statues, so it's like, 2 of each, probably, some of them it's easier to tell gender of. Like when it comes to the mammals, it's very easy to tell gender. You know, breasts and all. When it comes all the other creatures, though, it's very difficult to determine if there's a gender theme going in any of them. It's just like different outfits or different little poses, sort of stuff, like all sculpted.
Does he have any fake vases? Vases?
There are some, yeah. And while you're like doing this transaction, that's probably when Ashkar has wandered over towards Olive.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Olive.
Oh, hello, Ashkar. Are you enjoying yourself? Your food seems to have been well received.
That's what I was looking to ask about as well. I recall giving you a small taste, but I didn't get any feedback. I always like to hear how I did.
I've been so busy making sure everyone's okay. I thought it tasted lovely. I've never had Zinzaran cooking before, but that seemed quite nice.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. I'm here to please. And if I may ask you, well, how did the event go? Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves.
Yes, and some have. There's been some good connections. I am making a nice sale, and she gestures towards Grek. And you see that Grek is gathering up 12 little, basically action figure sized, little statuettes of various races.
Why do you have to word it like action figure size? That makes Greg feel so emasculated and treated like a little kid.
No, I shouldn't, because that's what my dad has a ton of action figures up on the mantle.
Yeah, no, so I just mean like the way you word it, like, oh, he bought a bunch of action figures. You know?
Come back.
Well, they're not actionable, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Phrasing.
Yeah, they don't have joints. They can't be posed or anything like that. You're not that dorky.
I mean, they're clay. But they're baked clay, so probably not. Anyway.
I'm still of the opinion that there needs to be a grung bard that invented hip-hop.
That's kind of like in the Fluffy. That's kind of like in the realm of all mushrooms are edible. Some are just edible once.
Just edible once.
Yeah, they're just edible once.
Yep.
Or twice.
You're not wrong.
It's like you don't wear a parachute to go skydiving. You wear a parachute to go skydiving more than once.
This is true. You wear a parachute to go skydiving and then do something else after.
Exactly.
But before Ashkar steps away, just again to do kind of whatever, he'll ask, or he'll say to Olive, well, after this, I'm sure I'll have other work to do. But if you hear I'm in town and need any catering, let me know. I'll be here.
Oh, of course, of course. It was most lovely having you here. Thank you.
Take care. And they'll go about cleaning up the little station.
And back to Larceny, who's pretty much just been staring at stuff all time, this entire time. I feel so bad for Larceny.
He likes art.
Well, he's sure seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He also now has a hate for tiger women. Specifically one.
Tiger women?
Or like a...
Leonin.
Yeah.
You mean lion women?
Yeah, sorry.
Very different.
One's very
Maybe
prideful.
he's just so angry at them that he doesn't realize the difference anymore.
Yeah, Liger. That's what it is.
He's seeing stripes instead of red.
Can I just be with Shiro staring at this?
Sure.
At this.
You're staring at a piece of art. There's a dragonborn man nearby who is just staring sometimes at the art and sometimes at his empty wine glass.
I'm gonna walk to this. Was it Dragonborn? You said.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah, I'm
green
gonna walk
scaled
this-
dragonborn.
Go walk to this Dragonborn and ask if he wants me to get him another drink, just to be nice.
He kind of like looks up and at you. And, oh, and you're not even a waiter. You would do that for me?
Yeah, sure, I don't mind.
How lovely. Thank you.
All right, do I see any places with the drink?
Yeah, there's some set out at a table, pretty much right nearby where Ashkar had his food displayed, but now people like setting up and setting down, so they're like not circulating the drinks as much anymore.
All right, I'm gonna go get him a drink and then bring it back to him.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're such a kind young man.
Yes, I wouldn't do anything wrong.
So, what brings you to the galleries? Sorry, I'm trying to remember how to do his accent, and I'm forgetting.
No worries. I'm here, say, on business for more of a profit reason.
A place like this, gonna do a lot of good business, don't you?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Kind of shakes. What sort of business are you in? Do you,
We buy things at an extremely low price and resell them.
I think my nephew would like you. He gets into that side of trouble.
Does he now?
Well, he does. Kind of skulks around the palace, trying to see what he can get away with. Well, at least he did last time I was back home. He kind of shakes his head. I'm worried. There's some bad stuff going on back home.
Oh, like what?
Well, first off, there's a war going on, but one of the I know the war is to blame for it. There's a sickness, a plague that is spreading among my people and to the neighboring nations over in Caldra.
That's terrible. I gotta be right back really quick.
Okay. That owl in that picture looks serious.
Serious owl was serious.
I am only just now realizing that I should have made my character a monk.
You can always multi-class.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because the way owl folk flight works is that it's equal to your walking speed. And, of course, monks have an absolutely absurd walking speed later on.
Yes, they do. Good monk.
Sure. But can't you dash as a bonus action?
Yeah, I can, but so can monks.
I mean, true.
Yeah,
There's
and
hard
monks
to
also
keep
get
monks.
a boosted movement speed.
That's what I was saying. So by
just
default,
saying.
they're just faster.
I'm just saying you're probably gonna be fast enough.
Yeah, I guess. I'll try. I'll just do that later on in my own time in another game at some point.
I mean, nothing's stopping you from multiclassing. Or if you die, you could always roll a new alpha.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, what am I gonna be if I die again?
What do you mean when you die again?
Okay, I know now. I'm gonna be an eloquent. What's are they called again? Satyr bard, and I'm gonna fuck up the campaign grid.
There aren't
Fuck you.
satyrs in this in this in this world. There are goat folk though. I could use similar stats to them. Because remember, there's no Feywild. At least no one knows knows if there is would ever have heard of such a thing as a Feywild.
Look,
So no
a human
creatures
and a
from
goat
Feywild there.
did something, and I exist.
No. They're not compatible.
Is there anything like a Luxodon in this world?
Yes, there are Luxodons.
Okay.
In fact, I think your party ran into one. It was the chief gardener of Viola's. Or at least one of your One of you remember
well.
might have run into one.
Oh well, I got thrown out before I met him, so
Her, I think.
yeah, I still got thrown out.
But yeah, Luxodon are a thing. Ooh, that sucks. Welcome back, Blake. You're having a conversation with this with this guy. The Dragonborn guy.
What was said last again?
Oof. I don't remember. I just remember he was talking about how there was a plague in his country. His country was at war. It was spreading. The plague was spreading to other nations around there. Nobody is talking about how he's like really worried. And that's about it. That's what he's said so far.
Okay, I'm going to ask if there's anything I could do to either take his mind off of it or to help him.
Did you say something about, you said you buy things at a reduced cost? Do you know anything about shipping things at a, well, that other people don't want you shipping, possibly?
I know nothing about that yet, but I may know some people who do.
He kind of nods. And he, like, you know, withdraws basically a little card out of a pocket and hands it over to you. Perhaps if you make some contacts, you'd be willing to come contact me about some potential work. If I can get some stuff together in regards to this.
I will get back to you on that. And I'll take the note if he's handing it to me.
Yeah, he is. And it's the name on in the card that reads Lorian Drogan. Hold on, where is... And he kind of nods, and it points to him being an ambassador. And that you can basically find him in the diplomat's ward. And basically gives an address in the diplomat's ward for the Treskafar region.
I'm going to put the note in my pocket and walk away like we didn't even talk.
All right. All right. One more round of perception checks, if you guys won't mind.
I'm just waiting for initiative to get called. Hey!
Well, sorry.
Good old you are,
I-
Ashkar.
What was that?
One more perception check.
Okey-doke. I can't decide to unplug my headset. Sorry for a second there.
Cats do that. Cats are gonna cat. Last time I rolled a net 20. What am I doing this time? Ooh. Ouch. So. Hold on. I'm looking for Shiu to roll as well.
Oh, perception.
Yep. And not initiative, Ashkar. Perception.
What? Did I hit initiative?
Yes, you did. I think it's because
What?
it was one of you mentioned. No. I just wanted to
Jesus
plus
Christ.
7. So technically. Oh, never mind.
My wisdom is
Shit.
plus 0.
Yeah, so that's a 20. Anyway. I originally I'd rolled a nat 20 with this character and none of you would have seen them. But that was earlier in the evening. Night's ending and I just rolled a nat 1. So even Shiu, basically, while some people are busy, packing things up, and most of the guests have left, and you guys are kind of lingering. Even Lorian's heading out the front way. All of you end up hearing basically the sound of somebody knocking something over towards the back, basically out towards the loading area where some of the bigger stuff would be, brought and transported out. You all look around. Two of you, Grek and Shiu, see a familiar Mardor kind of there in the back, almost looking like deer in the headlights for a moment before he scampers out back through the loading dock.
What's a Mardor?
Rat, the smaller of the rat folk. The one that you were talking to, Grek and Shiu. You would have recognized this guy too.
Okay. I'm gonna walk towards him at an extreme speed.
So, he vanished out to the back of the loading dock. The rest of you are seeing Shiu just kind of running after this guy. Ashkar, Larceny, and Zirin, you have no idea who that person is. All you know is that there was a small rat person, kind of in a cloak, knocking something over and then trying to run away.
Well, she was following, so that's all like fun. I'm gonna follow that.
I'll follow my friends, but I'm not going to be outright hostile. So I have no reason.
I'm gonna also follow for Shio, just to make sure he's okay or what is going on.
Alright. Shiu, how fast is your movement speed?
Normally it's 30, but if I'm running and using my rogue fuckery, it's 90.
Nice. So they also get that. Let's see, what's the complication on this? Alright, so you're running around, you have to slide around some boxes to get out there in hopes to see him in time. You can decide if you're going to use dexterity to deftly maneuver around the boxes while you're running, or if you want to use your investigation check to figure out, to basically try to spot him as he's leaving the gallery by the back.
I will use my dexterity.
Alright.
Is that acrobatics or is that like specifically just dexterity?
That's acrobatics. Okay,
That's a 25.
You definitely maneuver around the box and happen to get outside just in time to see him running down the street, trying to blend in with the crowd. He is heading south and west, basically back towards the Traveler's Ward.
I'm gonna try to. I want to stealth fly overhead to see where he's going without getting noticed.
Alright, so you fly up. It's nighttime. You have night vision because you're an owl. And you're watching the hooded figure kind of like dodging around shops that are all being shuttered for the evening. There's not as many people out here as there were in the Traveler's Ward, and they seem to be heading directly into the Sleepy Ward at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm also pulling up my hood on my cloak. While I'm following him.
All right. What are the rest of you guys doing?
We'll follow to the best of our ability, but I can't beat 90 feet. I'm nowhere
same.
close.
Yeah, you're basically huffing and puffing to the back of the gallery there, Ashkar, and yeah, you've completely lost sight of Shio. You have no idea where he is.
Mm-hmm.
What about the rest of you?
Judging by the speed Shio's going, since I'm also a rogue, I think I can travel about the same amount.
All right. You're on foot, so you don't see what he sees, but you can see where he is. So
I'll try and hang behind him and just kind of keep scouting.
all right, give me a perception check.
All right.
When Zirin hit out of the back, he was just going to kind of try to find a trail to follow.
Investigation for trail finding.
Walk it up. Oh.
Oh.
All right, so Larceny, you keep abreast of where she is going, and the Ratman seems to be heading south and west in towards the Sleepy Ward. All right. Give me another perception check, Shio.
Okay.
So you see him in the Sleepy Ward. You see him go to while you're up in the air somewhere. You spot him heading down an alleyway. What do you do?
I'm gonna land and follow him while stealthing.
All right, roll stealth.
This roll has advantage because of my cloak of Elderkind,
Yep.
and it is still garbage.
All right. So you hear the sound of metal screeching in the alleyway, and then you hear a bit of a splash. When you reach the top of it, you see that there is a grating or sewer cap opened up, and from the sound of it and the sound of the splashing, it seems like that's where he is gone. And that is where we will have to end for this week, unfortunately. With you guys deciding what you're going to do next. Are you going to go in there alone after him, or are you going to wait for your companions to see if it's still possible to catch up, or anything else you wish to do?
All right.